wanted to start today kind of going back to the roots of rainbow theory, rainbow trends. 2017 got knocked up, got knocked down, dust settled, and watched Bitcoin go from nothing to 20K back down to 3K going, what the F just happened? And that's where the questions come along about what on earth is a whale? That's the truth of it. And what can a whale do? What can a whale do? Are they even real? Is it myths? Whatever. Truth be told, there are whales. They're very large whales, and they are in control of the charts. And they do a lot of stuff that to shake you out of your money. And they're very, very good at that because they're the top of the food chain. And the big thing I've been focusing on is the TradeFi whales getting into the crypto space, specifically the Bitcoin ETFs. It's some of the best flow data ever as far as where Bitcoin's going. And people still kind of overlook of what we're dealing with. Because up until this point, we didn't have these big top of the food chain guys showing up in crypto. The amount of money like BlackRock and Fidelity can swing, that's Fidelity, that's BlackRock. If there was a dead whale, I would call that grayscale. But really, the market kind of changed because the oceans, we've gone from, kind of a sea to an ocean, and now we're seeing different sized whales starting to fight each other, as well as some of the legacy of the previous bear market where people are getting shaken out and still bleeding. At the turmoils of the bear market and FTX specifically going down was an onion, and FTX blowing up rippled through all the different smaller entities and took a very, very long time because a lot of them tried to save it. Some of them could do it. As I'm scrolling my mouse, I've never seen that whale, but it looks like a freaking dolphin with a mask. I gotta look that up. That's cool. But anyway, we start from the bottom, move our way to the top. The dynamics are changing for sure, and we need to keep that in mind because people keep trying to apply old data to new conditions. That's just the truth of it, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But we want to focus here because the big boys, we now have the big boys making a splash. So to the chart, a lot of people have gone absolutely crazy this week over this little retrace. You see the whale prints, and you see the whale print actual signals getting flagged because we're seeing whale print clusters. It wasn't that gnarly. Your leverage is showing if you're freaking out over this. We had a 9% pullback over 24 hours. 9%. If we zoom out, you can barely see this damn thing. And we're still in our all-time high order block. This is very, very key. This is like the most important order block in the world right now. Why? Because it's the current one we're in, and it's the one that marks the all-time high from the previous dual peaks of crypto, of Bitcoin specifically. We're in the never-been-done-before territory if we get above it, and we have gone above it. We've closed a bunch of candles above it, and then we went back down into it. And now we're trying to work our way back above it, right? But we got a lot of stuff coming, and that's totally fine. Totally cool. Is what it is. We're not worried. F it. Let's be worried. Maybe we go to $2,000, right? I don't know. I doubt it. I would bet against it because I am betting against it. Not that I trade securities. But guys, like, y'all forget these days. You do. These were much bigger in comparison. 28% in half a day over the FTX collapse. 28 at like 15K. Pulling back from all-time highs back down to like 64 and back up. Just chill. Crypto Paradigm. I wish I had the tweet up. He says, you guys would literally do better if you went into a coma for 2 months. And he's true. Because your job right now is to not overclick the buttons because they are trying to liquidate you and rip the money from your hands. And this is not the point right before the Bitcoin halvening to let that happen. Especially because, like I said with those whales, these dudes up top, they're consuming. big time. Even though people like, oh, we've had a few negative flow days. Let's check it out. BlackRock, the biggest of the whales, still accumulating. Still inflow, and they're eating spot Bitcoin and making it a rare commodity. And like I said, the Bitcoin halving approximately 15 days from now, April 20th. I think that's close to the eclipse day as well. So shout out if that happens, or if it's the cicada thing that people are starting to talk about on TikTok. Not that I TikTok, but the point is, there's going to be chaos going into this. Even if there's not, and it's going to be small, like actual chaos, the whales and everyone's going to hype it up. Crypto Twitter has gone from it's dead, it's over, we're back, about 10 times in the past 36 hours from this. Chill out. When we're wicking pivots, I don't get really bearish. That looks like support to me. There's buyers stepping in. We're getting blue split volume prints on bearish candles. It's kind of a sign showing you the whales are showing in. Also, these whale print clusters rejected. They tried to nuke it and it stopped. And it stopped right on these pivots. And we didn't close a single candle below this pivot. And these pivots are not hand-drawn. It's an algorithm, and they're very important because they're unbiased. Regardless of what I think, they're going to paint them where they think it's important. And original shout-out to Doppel for requesting that like 2 years ago. And since we've cracked that code, I have yet to change it. It's needed no updates. Kind of shocking because a lot of other stuff did. But back to this. This flow still matters. And one thing to point out, and one thing that like a few of the guys pointed out in the Discord as well, is like kind of Doppel bringing in some rhyme to the reason. And if I keep mentioning Doppel, I'm just probably the #1 fan. I'm a big fan of most of my guys in the Discord, so I always root for you guys. But he brought up something that was really interesting because all of a sudden, Grayscale quit, knock on wood, printing 3-digit outflows. And it didn't make sense to me. I was expecting maybe we'll do it for a day, they'll come back hard. So far, they've only done 3 days in a row below 100, and it's roughly 81, 75, 79. That's really, really close. Why? We don't know why yet, really. Don't know. We can speculate. And one of the really cool speculations in the Discord that got posted up was this tweet by James Safart. However you say that name, I don't know. I'm sorry, James. It's the first time I've read your last name, actually, and that's kind of... Oh, I bet grade school was hard. This is not the tweet. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I'm zoomed in too much from the Choose Rich thing. Regardless, what James is saying is also going to make a call. I think we are likely through the Gemini Genesis selling due to the Genesis bankruptcy for GBTC shares. Time will tell. Now, if you go look it up, I don't have it pulled up right now, but I think it's about, put it in the Discord, I think it's about $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. Not number of shares, not number of Bitcoins. It's total millions of dollars. I think it's 1.3 billion. Now, mind you, that's like a week of this, but I think it was March 14th is when they were greenlit to offload it per the courts. You can go look it up. I'm trying to keep this stream down to an hour. But if the Genesis Grayscale, Genesis was ordered to dump it, they're going through bankruptcy, and they're paying their 98% of the what's owed to the actual user. So shout out to the Winklevoss for actually doing that. It's as much as I don't like them, they some of the guys in the Discord got destroyed on that whole deal, and they're getting their money back, so I'm rooting for them. But the thing is if Genesis is done liquidating for the court proceedings, maybe we're not actually going to bleed this thing out as far as we thought.